Hey guys, and welcome to the penultimate episode in the series where we look at the trucks officially announced for the upcoming game Snowrunner. In this episode, we'll be looking at the two licensed trucks built by Caterpillar, the heavy-duty dump truck 745C and the heavy-duty semi-truck, the CT680. Caterpillar as a company is huge and one of the most iconic heavy engineering and trucking machinery producers out there, and produces nearly everything heavy industries could want, from entire super-duty trucks to engines to boots and other workwear. I don't think it's an exaggeration when I say that I think everybody knows who Caterpillar is. However, despite where Caterpillar is today, their beginnings were humble, mainly making agricultural tractors for California. Starting with the 745C, this thing is a real powerhouse, the 745 denoting it as the largest and most capable of a whole range of articulated trucks. Designed primarily as a dump truck, this vehicle is rated to carry 41 tons of payload on its back, and due to its hulking design, it can do this with ease. Despite its tremendous size, however, this truck is also designed with operator comfort in mind, with a noise-dampening cabin construction, air conditioning, and even Bluetooth, so that operators can talk hands-free. It should be a great truck to enjoy the interior of in-game if they got it accurate. One interesting thing to note about this truck as well is that the yellow colour you see on it is non-changeable. Caterpillar has copyrighted that shade of yellow, and one of the stipulations of licensing this truck for the game is that it has to be in Caterpillar's yellow. The CT680 on the other hand is an on-road vocational truck that represents the bigger version of Caterpillar's earlier CT660. These two trucks represent part of Caterpillar's attempt to diversify its range and try and get into new markets. However, this was a failure, as just 1 year after the 680's release, Caterpillar ended on-highway truck production and pulled out of that market. Maybe they weren't very good trucks. Officially, the reason given was that Caterpillar thought they'd need to put out a whole range to compete and didn't want to invest that much money into a side project, but apparently the trucks had some major reliability issues and were too expensive. Maybe we'll see the expense issue in game. Unlike the dumper, however, the CT680 seems to be able to change its livery, although this makes sense as this truck did come in a range of colours in real life. Suiting its stupidly massive design and cargo hauling ability, the Cat 745C has an absolutely titanic engine, the Caterpillar-built C18. This is an 18.1 litre diesel inline-six engine that comes in multiple power ratings starting at 575 horsepower but can be uprated to as much as 800 horsepower. I think it's extremely likely that this largest engine will be available in the game, which gives this truck insane power comparable to the biggest co-ops. The CT680 on the other hand was fitted with pretty standard truck engines, specifically Caterpillar's own CT13, a 12.4 litre inline-six diesel with power ratings of 410, 430 and 475 horsepower. Powerful, but not the greatest we've seen from a modern semi-truck. Notably, this engine was purpose-built for the CTE range, and when production of that stopped, the CT13 followed. On the topic of fuel tanks, the 745C's fuel tank seems mostly fine if a little small, comparable to the Colobs. However, the fuel tank of the CT680 is very small, considering the size of the engine underneath the hood. Even the Freightliner had a larger fuel tank, and I thought that was small too. The dimensions for the 745C is very correct, and whilst at first it seems very big, you need to understand that with its articulated steering, this should give it better agility than you'd think, which combined with the differential locks, all-wheel drive and huge wheels should make this not only competent off-road in even the thickest of mud, but also able to haul the heaviest loads. Just like every other semi-truck featured in the game, the CT680 is based on the longest wheelbase option, and they also got the width correct. It's odd, however, that they gave this truck upgradable all-wheel drive in game, as no CT680 came with all-wheel drive options, even though the smaller CT660 did. Lastly, the switchable differentials are correct, which is to be a given considering when this truck was built. Overall here we have two substantially different trucks from Caterpillar. I'd be curious if the 745C can take a fifth wheel point, or what equipment it can take in general, as it might be great for heavy recovery but may totally suck at everything else, especially the cargo hauling over long distance. This thing will perform very similar to the Azov Arctic, with an identical layout and dimensions. Conversely, I think that the CT680 will be a good truck. It has a lot of power, can lock its differentials and has the ability to take all-wheel drive. Although this truck will need better tyres to get the most out of it, I don't know what sort of range this truck will have when set up to off-road. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this episode. I've purposely saved the coolest trucks in my opinion to last, so hopefully that'll be a good episode. As usual, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment. Thank you for watching and take it easy.